All right. Way too long since the last time I did this. A lot to catch up on. Obviously, we can see record is at 1-6. Like I said, planned initially. Wanted to do an off-season show, didn't get to do that. I was on vacation, then got stuck on vacation because of the blizzard where I was staying at. So I wasn't able to get back in time to start the season. Missed two games instead of, honestly, might not even been one, uh, depending on what the advance would have been like. But I ended up going 0-2 to start. It wasn't my fault. Completely out of my control. I don't want to even look at some of these numbers. They're a rough season so far. I will say, I know since I didn't go over off-season signings and draft and stuff, awful draft. I wasn't able to draft. I did remote play with a. I tried to do remote play. It broke. Couldn't do that. So I pivoted to my friend doing it for me. We tried to share a screen. He didn't understand how to navigate the menus as fast as I needed him to. Therefore, some of the picks not great. We picked up Jalen Hurts on a one-year deal just as a backup because we do have a big issue with Jaden Daniels getting injured a bunch. Uh, Jalen Warren came in to replace Brian Robinson. He's done a good job actually. Fullback stays the same. We brought in AJ Brown. Thought this was going to be a huge jump for the offense. Brought in Darnell Mooney, who is wide receiver 5. Lopez and Sanchez, not exactly where I want them to be. They had ups and downs. Sanchez specifically has had a few up and down plays here and there, but they're just not getting open like I'd expect. Honestly, I'm struggling just general offensively. You guys kind of season 2 figuring me out a little bit. Uh, Noah Gray comes in to replace Ben Sinnott. Noah Gray, just I'm a fan of him due to he grew up from my hometown, so that's why I paid him. Honestly, the only reason. He's been a solid piece. Had a couple big games for me. Offensive line pretty much stays unchanged. Defensive line again stays pretty much unchanged. We do have D Whitaker. He plays a little for me, slower than I'd like. Defensive tackles, Christian Barmore was a big signing for me. Matt Milano, just X Factor backup that was super cheap. Cashman comes in to take over the top linebacker spot. McGee continues to have an okay season. Last year was really good. Madrano got an X Factor, superstar ability. Also signed TJ Edwards. Drano, he's going to be that guy for the future for me at this position. Cornerback wise, Flowers was our biggest draft pick. He's a monster. 6 foot, 207, 92 speed. We did get his X Factor ability unlocked. As you can see, it's reinforcement, return man on the ball, and outside shade. He has basically made, I believe it's Amos who's on the last year of his contract. He has taken him out of the rotation basically. Only guy playing there for him is Finch. So Finch will be cornerback 3 next season for sure. Amos will be gone. Quan Martin's up to an X factor. Deron Rogers has turned into a legit player. He was a 70 overall when we got him. Now up to an 81. Superstar. He was a 70. Actually, no, he was a 68 normal dev out of free agency. Tyler Bass came in replacing that kicker spot. But all small stuff. I don't want to spend too much time on that. There's a little roster update. We'll go through what's gone wrong this season. As we said, first 2 games, sim losses. Completely ignore those. That's nothing. Now we'll go down the rabbit hole of what's happened. As you can see, offense hitting on all cylinders, 25 points. It was 10-10 at halftime, and he just pulled away. Honestly, Jaden Daniels threw a pick. Run game was abandoned, kinda. Didn't run it enough. First game playing in a long time. Jaden Daniels had 2 rush touchdowns as well. That was my first time playing any video games in about 2 weeks. So it happens. Lane, another decent game. Couldn't get AJ Brown involved really at all. Was very disappointed in that. So started off 0-3. See if anything else of importance happened. I don't believe there was any picks from, yeah. Missed a field goal. Oh, this is the game. It's going to come back to me as I go through. 2 onside kicks, and for some reason, the onside kicks didn't go past the kicker. It was an actual kicker in the spot. It was either Bass or my punter, which it should have been Bass because he's my at the kicker position and the KOS. I don't know why it was my punter doing those, but basically I couldn't kick an onside. I wanted to, didn't let me. Next game, as you can see, kind of had control of it for a little, and he just got fire at the end. We had the lead with less than a minute left. Perfect game, pretty much it felt like for me. I thought I couldn't do anything better. JJ McCarthy was slinging that thing. Run game was working. And Justin Jefferson with, I believe it was 3 seconds on the clock. I was up by 3. Back shoulder fade. He was in field goal range. It would have went to overtime. So I'm not saying I would have won that game, but back shoulder fade. I was usering it. I had a cornerback there. It was supposed to be double covered, and he just caught it. And that's, I don't know what his contract is. I'm sure he's getting paid like 35, 40 million at this point. That's why you pay him. AJ Brown had a bigger day. That's why he pays Justin Jefferson what he pays him. You can't be mad at the best receiver in the game making a ridiculous catch. It happens. 0-4, super demoralizing. Terry McLaurin had a big game. That's where we got to this point. Also, the pressure was amazing this game. Got a user pick with Cashman. Field goal wise, did pretty good. Philbin. That average punt yards, that's pretty solid. I didn't really look too much into that, but that is somebody we will probably look to keep. So 0-4 after that on a last-second loss. Then we go to the Ravens game. Another ridiculously close game. And Jaden Daniels got hurt. Threw a pick with Hurts. Not really, but like 6 passes with Hurts. Bad reads at the end cost me this game. I had a chance to win it. I was down 4 with like 2 minutes left, and he locked me up. Point blank, he locked me up. I threw a pick, terrible read, wrong button. Just not the guy. I was better off taking a sack in that situation. I was able to get a stop, used all my timeouts. Actually, I think it was just 2 of my timeouts. Got the ball back again, down 7, this time without Jaden Daniels. Jalen Hurts comes in, I throw another pick. Is what it is. He was better than me at that day. That moment, he outplayed me. Again, no shame taking losses in this league. That's kind of what I figured out. I really enjoy playing these guys because it's such good comp. Even the games I'm not winning, I'm having fun. And now I'm just trying to get back in the groove of doing what made this more fun the first season. Looking at this, doing the Commander's Corner. I have no idea what episode I'm going to be on at this point. Maybe it's like 6. I'll have to double check before I officially make the title and everything. But it's a downslope. Again, just a great game to this guy. I know he's one of the commissioners, so I believe he is. I don't really know the whole commish group, but that's okay. Kick return touchdown. Again, he killed me on kick returns. 95 yards. He had another big one after that as well. But, 0-5. Finally come out against the Seahawks. A good user. Dominated. Right from the start, it was 31-14 at halftime. Just run the clock. Keep things moving. I know I can win. This team's good enough to win. I'm making bad plays. I started off 0-2. I fully expect this team to, when I get a tight end, this is going to be a down year, and I'll manage that as I will. I'm hoping to finish 500. Still, the goal is still to win out and go 11-6. As tough as that's going to be, 2 Eagles games left. The goal is 100% 11-6. And every week, I know I said in the Discord, every week they're going to clown on me for it. Every time I lose, it's gonna be a typo. 11-6. If I lose another one, the goal is 10-7, and it will keep going and going and going till we get to that final record. AJ Brown's huge game as well. This was the big game that made me realize, yeah, AJ Brown is worth the money I paid him. Noah Gray came out, had an amazing game as well. 67 yards a rack. Just really being a thorn in his side in this one. 2 picks from Quan Martin, another pick from Sanders Still. I don't know if I scored a touchdown on him. No. 4 field goals from Bass. Taking my points, doing everything right. It worked out for me this time. And after that game, I felt, honestly, after these 3 games that I come in, I finish, really, after the 4 games, last second losses on 1, 2, 3 losses, I was pretty set. I felt good about it. And the Browns come in, and right now we're on week 8 in a bye week. Good reset. Go up against the Browns. You can see second half shutout. He killed me. I had a chance to win this game. I know the score, 14-point loss. It was about 2 minutes left again. And got hit as I threw. Myles Garrett picked it up. Touchdown. What looked like was only going to be and it was an interception, not a fumble, so we'll see that on the stats sheet as a pick. Ball just kind of popped up in the air, and his DN picked it off again. That's why you pay Myles Garrett what you pay him. But, 14-point loss really came in the last second. Garbage time touchdown. So all my losses feel close. 5 picks. One was in desperation. Another one, obviously, like I said, 2-minute drill, down 7, and hit as I threw. Awful game for me. No answers. Just no answers. He was better. If I would have won this game, it would have been because I got lucky at the end and went for 2. I was not beating him with my offense. Obviously, you can see 46% completion percentage. Just killed me. His D-line's disgusting. I felt good about what I was doing defensively. Chad Price, we just aren't running the ball enough. After I'm looking at this, I'm not doing enough on the ground. He has so much speed on his wide receivers. There's just so much good about that Browns team. His only downside is he has Baker Mayfield. If he had any quarterback, if he had a Jaden Daniels or something like that, I have no doubt he'd probably be up there with some of the best records in the game. I don't know what he's at right now, but he's hovering that 500 mark. Deron Rodgers, big game. Sack-wise, got pressure again. He got pretty good pressure too, obviously, but he's supposed to get good pressure with what his D-line is. Myles Garrett and all that. Jabril Peppers got an interception. That was a bunch of crap. I will say that. No reason Jabril Peppers at 70 years old and I think it's 87 speed was able to keep up with my wide receiver. But, that's just how the game is. I got to take credit on the read. So we'll look at a couple things outside of this. We'll look at standings in the division, what it would take. Specifically, I want to look at my own schedule, actually, and see the Colts user. And I will pull up on the side here what is everyone's record that I'm going up against and see really where we stand, what's realistic, and how we feel going into it. Colts are sitting at a 3-4 record, so a winnable game. Go to the Giants. We've swept the Giants last season. We know that's winnable. Eagles. We were close. Very, very close we've been to beating him. It is possible. It's going to be tough, but we aren't out of that. I'm confident I will get one of him. I'm very confident in saying that. Going up against the Bucks, 0-7. I need to see if he's playing before I So one sim loss, 2 sim losses. He's having a rough season. We'll see. We'll see where he's at. I'm also having a rough season, so I can't judge. 2 sim losses on both sides. So I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe he's better than what his record shows, but winnable based on record. Bengals, he's 5-2. That's going to be a tough one. Eagles again, what we already know. We did beat the Lions last year. The goal is to beat him again. Steelers are sitting at 4-3. He's hovering that 500 mark. Those are the teams that we beat up on last season. Those teams at that 500 mark. We never beat any of the top guys. We never beat the playoff teams. Those top. Well, actually, we beat the Bills last year, but we weren't beating up on the top guys. We were staying with the average. What if that's a slight at some users? I don't take it that way, but we were beating the guys that were at a similar skill level to what I deem myself at. Eagles are possible to beat. He just has my number right now. So we'll keep it at that. I don't want to get too much into that. Steelers 500. If I can beat a 500 team, I'm feeling good about where my team's at. Giants again, and then Packers are at, which the Giants, I didn't tell what their record. Giants are at 6-2. He's having a great year. I just know I can beat him since I've already done it twice. But he's a good user. And Packers are 2-5. So it's not crazy to say we come out here and run the table. It's going to be tough for sure. Staying healthy, Jaden Daniels can't get hurt anymore, which he's been. I took this team over last season. He got hurt 4 times last season and once now this year since I've been back. I regret that contract so much. I would not have paid him. I would have rather played some bum because this is it's disgusting to deal with. Again, our stats are kind of wonky because some people have played more games than others. We'll look at just my personal stuff. 10 picks, and most of those are me. 11 picks if you include Hurts. Most of those I've thrown. I can't blame Sim. This is me being bad. Very bad. Rushing, Jaden Daniels, good rush here. 4 touchdowns. Fullback's got a touchdown. That's probably from Sim. I don't remember that happening. Chad Price, 4. Those are all those touchdowns from Price I know I've had. Scary Terry having a decent year. AJ Brown will be more involved sooner than later. He wasn't. My depth chart wasn't right on those sim losses either. I had just gotten back and realized Noah Gray wasn't in the game. Wasn't even in my lineup. AJ Brown wasn't in my lineup. So all these new guys, Wiley wasn't in my lineup. Warren wasn't in there. So there are some things a little messed up statistically. Cox having a much better year than first season. Rodgers leading the team in tackles. Sack-wise, again, pressure not where I want it to be exactly, but the games that it works, it works. Interceptions are down. Everything we want to see is just not where it's going to want to be. When you don't play 2 games to start off a season, your stats just look all wonky. That's nice. 48 yards average for punt, so he will be my punter for the rest of the Madden, barring something unforeseen. Kick return wise, nothing really special. Same with punt return, nothing special. We'll look at our next opponent as well, just for fun. We'll see what the Colts are good at, if it lets me. Doesn't turn the ball over. 6 picks in, well, you can get about a turnover a game out of them. Rushing wise, this is tough to deal with. Tracy is now on a different team. We did see he didn't play at all last season because of his, I believe it was Achilles. Signs over with the Colts and picks up where you'd expect him to leave off. Anthony Richardson, he doesn't run with them much. Adon Mitchell, yeah, that makes sense. Who is this? Joey Means must be a fast guy at only 5'9", 95 speed. Yep. Tyler Warren. We'll see Jerry Whitfield, what he is looking like as well. 93 speed. So yeah, just Kind of speedier guys. Doesn't like to check it down to his back all that much. We'll double check those 2 touchdowns because there was somebody with no catches but 2 touchdowns. That's something we will pay attention to. It's Tracy. So Tracy most likely on the goal line. 62 yards of rack on 58 receiving yards. There's a long. Okay, 15. So yeah, on the goal line, that's something we'll definitely pay attention to. 2 receiving touchdowns with Tracy. Interesting. Tackle for losses, 8 sacks. He does not get any pressure, it feels like. 2, 1, 1, 1. Defensive touchdowns, no. Kicking wise, he doesn't really miss. Respect to him. 37 yards per punt, not good at all. So I don't want to make it too long because there's so much to catch up on. And I honestly couldn't fit it all in a timely manner for everybody. I think we'll call it there. I will be back sooner than later. Let's set a goal game so I actually hold myself to it. Goal game. What do we want to look at? If we approach 500, if we end up being 6-6 immediately after that game, I will start. But we'll check in after Eagles game. So we'll look at right before this Buccaneers primetime game and see how we're doing. If we are, what would that be? We're 1-6 right now. 4-6. Immediately we go live. If we are, then after that, the next goal would be right after this Eagles game. If we're because that would be 6-6. If we win the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we beat the Bengals and we're 6-6 immediately after we go live. So target games will be both Eagles games. If we are not looking at that 500 mark, we'll probably wait till after this Eagles game to see how we feel. But the Eagles games are the markers. Next episode of Commander's Corner will definitely be right around there. But until then, that should be about it. Next time we'll look at stats. Obviously, our record, how we feel, what the goal is at that point. Right now, it's 11-6. At worst, 10-7. I truly think at 10-7 we could easily make a playoff push, but 11-6 is pretty much a guaranteed playoff spot unless the NFC is crazy. Which, the 7 seed is sitting at 4-4. Not out of it. Not out of it at all. Tiebreakers against the Seahawks. Now, the big issue is right now we got swept by the Cowboys, lost one, and the Sports lost to him in another one. But it's in reach. For sure is in reach. Anyway, until next time, that is it.